This is the elevation plan for this new assignment. Notice that we do not have a border or title block around it. We only see the label elevation plan, Willamite Industries. And if I zoom in a bit, my drawing is blurry, but the PDF is more legible. But as you can see here, it says GG, and then it lists all the drawings where this is located. One of the drawings that it lists, no, it's hard to see, but it says D781043, which, if you remember, the original drawing had a title block, which I did not copy here, but this is drawing 1043. That one was labeled GG, and now I need to look for the cutting plane line for GG, since that is the section view for GG. So I'm going to draw a line. Here's G to the other side of G, which is right here. And if you also look, the arrowhead is pointing this direction here and this direction here. Okay, because this is a vertical line and it's pointing this direction, and this is the elevation of it. Now remember, every time you see an elevation plan, that just means that it's either the front or the side views of an object, because it displays the height, hence the word elevation. So what I'm going to do with this one to line it up correctly, since this is a pipe plan, which means it's a top view, but this top view is oriented a different way. What I'm going to do is rotate this, and then because this is section GG only, then I'm going to just get rid of the rest of the drawing. I can line this drawing onto here. When I align it, I want to make sure that DA is lined up with DA so that it's projected correctly. Going to DA is right here, DB, F. And in here, I have DA, DB, and F. So I need to select it again, and I'm going to move it so that it lines up closely to the same position of the other one, somewhere around there. So G started right here. I accidentally got rid of my line, but G started right here, and it went all the way to here. Okay, if you notice that G starts at this level, this is where all the elements are drawn. Notice that you see an elevation here for that is the control room. That control room is right here. There's a doorway right there, and that opening is right here. Okay, then we have, I know that at this level we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different screens. The screens are not necessarily drawn, but we will have something like a center line or something of that nature that give us that information. And so for this one down here, the long fiber screen is right here. This is the center point. Let's look at how it's lined up here. It goes up from there. I know my line is not straight, but as you can see, it goes to this screen here. The second one is around here, so I'm going to look for it. Okay, here's the label for it, and here's the center line for that. The next one is the label for it is right here. Center line goes to here, so this is the nozzle that is attached to that screen. Then I have another one here, and so you will see that each one of these are still drawn here, except that they decided not to draw the screen itself, just the nozzle that is attached to it. So at this level, which is the elevation is given to us out here, TOS is top of steel elevation. That's 174 foot 0 inches. And if you recall from the previous assignment, it does tell us that For example, this one is a 74 foot 10 inches. This right here is 74 6 inches. And so as you can see, all of those are at the approximately the same elevation, except that you have some things that are elevated because it has some structural members there that make it lower or higher depending on what is going on. Notice that here it gives us a nominal elevation of 174 6, which means that this is where all the screens are mounted. And as you can see there, that's the same elevation given to us for the screens right here. And so you have that there. This is what is lower. Remember in the previous assignment that was there told us that you had a drawing that was below this one, and also you had a drawing that is for above this one that was displayed. So that here displays what is above and below. When you complete this new exercise, you need to just pay really close attention to what is asking. Make sure that you do understand each of the things that are labeled there. Remember, equipment is the bigger items. Like, for example, in this case here, you have cleaners. Here is another screen. I see that right here by the center line is the title for it. Then I have this nozzle here. It doesn't display very much. I do see a kind of rectangular shape that looks like a tank, but it says that that's a barrier screen. Here's another one here. Okay, and then there's another one here. These are different shapes because the actual screens will be different shapes. And then I already pointed out the screens for that were displayed in the first drawing, and you will see other types of screens here, cleaner here. That's equipment. Instruments are these bubbles. There's one here, there's one here, there's one here, one here. And you already know about the table that lets us know what the letters represent, and the numbers underneath are loop numbers. We know that the pipeline is here and what these little circles mean, that this is going away from us, or if you see one that is shaded like this one, then that means that the pipe is open towards us, and that's another section view for it. We know that valves look like bow ties, so anytime you see little bow ties in the drawing itself, that just means that those are valves. It gives us the information for the valves right next to them. And then you will see some parts of the fittings like 90-degree L's. You have an eccentric reducer here, a concentric reducer on the other side. Now remember, some of the questions will actually refer back to the original drawing, so just pay attention to those.